there. Oh, I hope nobody answers.
Hello, I'm Tigger.
Oh, you scared me.
Yeah, sure I did. Everyone's scared of Tiggers. Who are you?
I'm Pooh.
Oh, Pooh. Sure. What's a Pooh?
You're sitting on one.
I am? Oh, well, glad to meet you. Name's Tigger. T-I-double-G-R. That spells Tigger.
But what is a Tigger?
Well, he asked for it. The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. The tops are made out of rubber, the bottoms are made out of strings. The bouncy, flouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
Then what's that over there?
Huh? Oh, hey, look. What a strange-looking creature. Look at those beady little eyes, and that preposterous chin, and those ricky-tickle striped pajamas.
Looked like another Tigger to me.
Oh, no, it's not. I'm the only Tigger. Watch me scare the stripes off of this imposter.
All right. All right. So, hi, and welcome to another episode of the B Clay podcast. I'm going to be transparent. I'm about TNT, truth and transparency, and I'm going to let you know that this is like I don't know how many numbers is it. I have re-recorded this episode so many different times for so many reasons whatsoever. It's just, I don't know. So if you're listening to this, let you know that this one is a take that got through. Okay. So with all that being said, let's get into this. First, after re-recording this episode for multiple times throughout over this week, I thought about and decided I'm thinking about making a Patreon just so that I can have like bonus content and to really go in depth in some of with these episodes, because with these episodes I think it's a time limit that I probably necessarily don't want to go over, that I have in mind. And sometimes I realize that there's some things that I really want to get into. So I feel like maybe I should just make a Patreon where those, who want to can come and subscribe, and then you can hear the different things. You can even interact with me even more so, especially for those I really don't see every day and have my phone number, don't have my phone number, whatever case may be. You can ask questions. You can, get specifics. Thinking those will be more specific things, not just abroad and what in my journey, but then you get more specific and more intimate things as far as everything on this journey. So, I think on Spotify you can comment. So you can comment. So just let me know. But I think I'm thinking about it. It's out of my comfort zone. Don't get me wrong. All of this is really out of my comfort zone. But I do really know that, like, that's how you know at times when it's like something that God wants you to do, because it's really out your comfort zone. Just go through the Bible itself. Any time that God did anything, it's out of our comfort zone. In healings that people have received was out of their comfort zone. Everything that he did was out of our comfort zone. So, it's not something like, oh, like I'm excited for what God's going to do, but it's a lot. And you gotta really learn to depend on. But I know this is what he said. This is the platform they need, because I talk amongst, I guess, locally, people I have seen in the stores or work with or whatever. But there's people who needs to hear my story outside of this little small circle that I have. So, so with all that being said, we are, this is your first time hearing it, but this is like my 10th time saying it, but we're going to dive into this episode. And here we are. So first I would like to say that, first I'd like to say that in the first episode, you hear me talk about the relationship between a potter and the clay. And in the first episode, you may even begin to see, because I heard some, I guess, testimonials. Oh, wait a minute. So, sorry, let's pause. First, I do really want to thank everybody. I do. I want to thank you so much for all the positive feedback that I've gotten. I mean, the encouragement that I received. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for those who have shared to other people, whether you verbally, whether you shared it through your phone, the text, emails, whatever you did, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you did. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I did receive multiple testimonials about not just what they thought about, like, oh, it was good, but hey, I never thought about it like that. Oh, wow, this really make a lot of sense. Or there's different things that I have heard. And so I it's beyond what I expected. I didn't even expect anything back necessarily, but again, thank you. And so on that note, know that this is also a journey. Like, this is a process that you're going to have to go through. It's not going to take 2 minutes. It's not going to be suddenly. It's not going to be overnight. That it's going to take a while to really learn how to be molded. And not just to learn how to be molded, but to just, you know what? Here's one thing I'm understanding is, because this is a season where I'm in, and I'm actually I have been in this season, I guess, since last year. And so we'll say for a year. And the season that I'm in is, you know what? No, let's start over. I've been in this season this year, 2024. The season I'm in is to learn how to enjoy the process of learning how to give me grace in the process. Okay? And what I mean by that is, so over, we'll say the last 4 years, we're going to say over the last 4 years, that God has really had me in a place of, first, what he did, because once I got this revelation of be clay, and I actually started writing a book, which I'm going to go back to. I started to write this book. He continued to download and said, and everything else. Now, due to the fact where this is another episode and another time to really go into a lot of my anxieties and things like that. But these are different anxieties and the way I look and see in myself, right? That I feel like I can never really be what he really calls me to be. Like I understand and I understood that he's molding me. He keeps telling me he's molding me. I'm seeing him molding me. I see that there are things that I am going through or have went through because he is really trying to, okay, I'm really trying to show you that this is who you really are. And within that, the first thing that I did, or the first thing that he had to do, was tell me, Alisa, you have to realize who I created you to be and who you created you to be. That was the first thing. This is why my title of this episode is It's Okay, I'm Aware That I'm Rare. Because the first thing that I did, or in this process, should I say, was I had to be able to differentiate. I think I said it wrong, but okay. Who I am, because who he created me, and who I created me to be. Those are two different people. They are totally different people. I took some things from the person that he created me and tweaked it and created something else. And so the problem is I've been struggling for so long because the person that he created me was supposed to do one way, but the person that I created was doing another way. And I'm not supposed to fight. So it was, now I'm trying to figure out whose is who. Because I'm asking, he said, I'm giving you instructions, but I'm giving you instructions for the person that I created you to be, not the one that you created. And it took me a while to realize it. And I went through multiple things. It's just, I felt like I was never going to make it. I felt like I always was going to be a failure because I just can't get it together. And so, I almost gave up. You know what, that's it, God. Just, because I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to get to that place. Because I know that he can do all things. And I know that he can heal. I know he can restore the years. I know all those things. But I feel like I will never get to that place where I really allow you to do what you can do best. And so last year, thank the Lord, I actually had a major breakdown. I was in my room. First, it didn't even start. It was actually starting in the bathroom. I was just I had a major breakdown, scared the crap out of my kids. Oh my God, what? And I couldn't even get myself together. Usually, I have a meltdown and, I kind of can do it, not in front of the kids, but I just dropped the kids. Then I couldn't even get up. I had to crawl. It was bad. It was real, real bad. My kids got scared. And I was like, you know what? After... It was a long time. I was like, you know what? Mommy gotta get herself together. She need to go to God. And I just fell and I just continue every day after that to really just fall on my face on God, because this was bad. It was real bad. Where I went and things like that. And so there was been a process of him really trying to show me. And then to some degree, I was, like I told you, I was fighting that process. And then he would heal me, he would free me from this and free me from that. So then I was just expecting to just be like, oh, okay, let's go. And I'm, healed of every little thing. And it wasn't like that. And so last year, I really... God, I need you. So I fell on my face every single day. I was just in his face. God, fix me, fix me, fix me. But I just laid on the surgery table and said, now you do it. And then I wasn't fighting and I wasn't getting off. And while I was in the kiln, I didn't get out. I was in a fire and I didn't get off. And he did it. He did it. He did it. He did it in the revival. And because my children saw me from that because it was end of December 22 when I had that belt out. And so when the new year came, I was like, it's going to be free in 2023. And they just kept hearing me say that. And so, but I knew it wasn't freedom based on me, but it was freedom with him. And so they saw that. And then when I got free, they ran it and they said, well, I want to be free too. And so my kids got free too. Most of them. And they went to God for themselves. And so with all that being said, and this was beyond that I was getting before, whatever. Because he really dug deep this time. He really went to the basement. He really went in. And I'm like, oh, and I got up off the floor after I was on the floor like every day. And then I got off the floor and it was like, yes, finally, I can make it, right? And everyone who knows me just kept hearing me say, I'm free, I'm free. I was just saying it every single day, I'm free. I was just crying every day. I'm so happy to be free. It just felt so great. Like I was so lighter. I was just like, it was wonderful. Okay, it was so wonderful. And, and then this was March, so we got April, we got May, and it still was there in June, I think, and maybe at the end of June, there were some things that was happening, some thoughts, and I just was like, what's going on here? Like, I'm free, so why is this stuff coming up? I'm not understanding. And then it usually when some things happen, or I feel like I never get free because I feel like I always go back. But this time it didn't happen. I didn't go back to my old ways of doing things. However, I just thought that some things that was coming up should not come up anymore because I'm free. And it took for a couple of months. And I just started, after a while, I started crying like, God, well, maybe you did not take, what did I do wrong? Did I allow them things to come back? Are they back 7 times stronger? Like, oh my God, like, what's the problem? Like, I was upset. And then he said, Elisa, you have to understand that this is not from 1 year or 1 day. This is years worth of stuff. And there's levels to this stuff. There's levels to this thing. There's stages. So, and you have to learn how to live without it. You've been living with this for so long. You now have to learn how to live without it, to do without it, because there's something there. So, and know what alternative things to do instead of this. Like you have to learn, like you're in training ground now. And so this is why I'm saying that I'm learning this year to enjoy the process of learning to give myself grace to go through the process of all this healing. And so it's okay. I'm aware that I'm rare. Okay. This right here, this title is going to be, I'm going to have a part 2 because everything cannot fit in this one episode. And yeah, this part is going to be, give me a moment. Be patient with me. This episode, I want you to begin to say that to yourself and think about what does that really mean to you when you hear that. It's okay. I'm aware that I'm rare. What's the definition of rare and things like really start to think about that. And keep that in your mind. So in the beginning, you hear a clip as Tigger was introducing himself to Pooh. First of all, we know, for those that know Tigger. See, Tigger is not just one of my favorite characters. Tigger is me, which is why, that's my nickname. Okay. I always loved Tigger. And I'm going to give you I always loved Tigger from the beginning. From the beginning of my life, when we was watching the cartoons and watching Pooh, every single body, for the main part that watch it, whether it was young and old, loved Pooh. They loved Pooh. Elisa was like, okay, Pooh was nice, but it's Tigger, okay? It's Tigger. Tigger was always the one that caught my eye. Pooh was okay. He was fine here. But it was Tigger, right? And why was it Tigger? First of all, Tigger is a tiger, and tigers are one of my favorite animals. I actually, big cats are my favorite animals. I just love I love cats, period. I do. I love cats. It's just something about their demeanor, or I don't know. It's just something. I love the way, like, we grew up. I had a cat in just about every house I had growing up. And when my cat, when they used to walk around the house, they just had this type of walk, like, and their muscles come through their arms or something. And it's like I own the place. I don't know, but that just, it was like, I loved it. So I just love cats in general. I love big cats, period. But one of my favorite of the big cats is a tiger. I don't know, because the beauty of a tiger. But I really love, I just love them all. So anyway, and dolphins also favorite animals. So being as though he was a tiger, I was like, yay, right, at first. But then you get to hear, like, in the introduction to Pooh, was the wonderful, wonderful thing about Tigger is that I am the only one. And that right there always stuck with me, because he had this boldness, this confidence in himself to be himself and to understand that I am the only one. And he was, I mean, that boldness is something that I think I believe that was inside of me, that I had it, but I buried it. And I didn't have the confidence to be me regardless of who like it or not. The thing is, even sometimes in some of the episodes with different things, then in the movie, they made the movie where he was looking for his, other Tiggers or whatever case may be. But for the most part, like, no matter what he did, cheer up a buddy or pie, he was out there always trying to, let's look on the brighter things. And that was things I used to do. I like to encourage people. And I know at one point, he tried to say, hey, if you want it, like, he tried to help you, or you could be like Tigger. I'm Tigger 1, you're Tigger 2, where we can do this together. I'm not the type of person who, like, hey, I'm this, I'm that, or this come easy to me. Because there's a lot of things that came easy to me. It is what it is. I did not create me. Like, at the end of the day, for real, I did not create me. I did not pick what type of strengths I was going to have. I did not pick on what type of weakness I was going to have. I did not choose my eye color. I did not choose that if I was going to be black or white or Chinese. I did not choose who my mother was, my father was. I didn't choose which part of them is actually in my DNA. I didn't choose whether I was going to be able, that I was going to be smart and that I can, read well and I can I could pick up things fast. Those type of attributes, and the list can go on, I did not choose. God did. However, I was abused for it. I was abused for the things that I had no control over. And it hurt. It hurt me to the core. It did a lot for me. I didn't even choose, okay? I did not choose for me to be called as a prophet. That was not me. Because I would have said, you can have that. Take that. You can have that. I don't want that. Trust and believe. That's not something I wanted, okay? I didn't want to be able to see. And I'm not talking, I wasn't seeing now at 37. Feel like I saw as soon as I got out, okay? I used to see things. I can see clear as day. Just as clear as I'm looking at this mic that's in front of me. That's how clear it was. Vivid, the way I was able to hear, and which why nothing went past me. So even every time people, family, whatever, when they used to talk about me or talk about my mom and all those things, I heard it all. And then I saw the effects of their words and what it was doing inside even my own household. And I see it. But I didn't choose to have the ability to see. I did not choose that. He wanted me to be able to see he chose me to do that for his purpose. So growing up, and and when I'm saying growing up, we're going to talk about in the first few years of my life, which was very crucial. And I'm talking about from up until, I guess, 6, 7. We're just going to say 7. But those first years of my life was hard. It was very, very hard because it was just hard. It was very, very hard to be me. To be me. Again, as I said before, I did not choose this, right? This is not something I was like, you know what, God, when you're making me, how about you, and just ran it down. And then he said, okay, Lisa, that makes sense. Okay, so this is who you want to be. No, I didn't have that choice. Okay, I was created, and then here I am. And so nothing went past me. I heard every whisper. I heard every laughter. I saw all looks. I saw the real intentions of what people, like, they'll say, they'll look in my face and they will smile. But I saw and knew the real intentions behind that smile. And it irked me. It did. I felt like, don't come to me with, I never liked it. Like, you don't have to smile in my face. Just tell me how you really feel. It's okay. I can take it. Regardless of what you think, I really can take it. I may be small, but I'm big because I know exactly what the truth is anyway. And I was about the truth. Now, he created me to be about the truth. I'm so sorry. That's what he did. Okay. So I was able to see the truth. And sorry, that's what he created me to be. But because people couldn't understand, they just didn't understand me. They didn't understand. They abused me with their words. Their verbal and emotional abuse was real. And in the beginning part, I had my grandmother, I had my nana, my mother's mother, and I could talk to her. Sometimes I didn't really have to say anything. She just automatically was able to hear or see whatever. And she just prayed. And then everything was better. Then she gave me instructions. And then, told me what to say and how to say and this, that, and things. And I was doing it and was working. So I already understood and knew the difference between God's presence and not his presence, basically. I already understood and know I had to go that far. So some people who grew in church are like, oh, there's the world outside of church and I don't want church. Listen, I knew that. I lived in the hood. Like, I ain't had to go that far. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the first part of my life, it wasn't as bad as other parts, but it was enough. It was enough to know that I had to go that far to see the enemy. He's right there in front of my face. And so I had a choice. And with God, I knew I was safe. And without God, I knew I wasn't. Now, I like to be safe. Now, you may not like to be safe. You like to, be in and out. That's your choice. But see, I'm not the type of person like who, if this is a choice I make and telling everybody they should make the same choice. You make whatever choice you feel like you think that works for you. This choice, that me being with God worked for me. Even as a little kid, I understood that this being with God, this God thing, it works for me. Okay? It works. It works. There was times I had nightmares. Because the enemy, he didn't wait until I was 10, 15, 20, 37 to come at me. He came at me right away. So the nightmares that I have had in my room, and then I was like, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And guess what? The nightmares went away. This works. Now I can call him Satan. You think he gonna no. Like, this worked. Now you can say what you want. It worked for me. And I understood that at a young age. And so then, what all kids do, right? Again, I told you, I grew up in the church. I basically was born in church, right? Okay? It wasn't, my mom was in church while she was pregnant, had me. I'm still in church. So I'm in church time after time, Sunday after Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, sun up to sundown. And in that Sunday school, all of that, you hearing stories, you listening over the pulpit in your Sunday schools. And my mother, she was, even at home. First of all, my mom was an English person, so she made sure we was able to read before we even went to school, right? And she wasn't, not just know how to read, but not just read, but comprehend what we're reading. So our comprehension was great, okay? Because she taught and she nurtured that from a very young age since we got here, reading to us while, whatever, reading books. We always have, all those things was happening in the early part of Sage's life. So we understood. And she's one of those, like, if you come to her and you're like, oh, Mom, how do you spell cat? First of all, she's not just going to say it's C-A-T. She's going to have you sound it out. She's going to have you do the work. She ain't just going to tell you. She's going to have you do the work. And then after you do the work of learning how to sound it out, to sound it correct, now she's going to say, now here's the dictionary. Let's see what's the definition of cat. What is a cat? Then she's going to say, let's see what's the antonym and the synonym of cat. And then I want a sentence of each to make sure you understood what you just read. Sorry. I had no control over the mother that I had, right? But this is the mother I had. This is what she taught me. My father, yes, was in church again, and was teaching these things. So as I'm being taught, okay, and I really want to emphasize this thing, because this was something that really did a lot for me. This part right here, I'm about to say, did a lot for me. I'm being taught the word. It's in songs, okay? Songs. We sing. I've been singing since I basically was here. And all the children's choir, hate choir, all the choirs. We're not only just teaching, but we're singing it. Okay? And hearing the word. But I wasn't seeing the word in front of me. And when I mean that is, we're just going to go a few stories. Okay? Just a few little stories. So I'm hearing a story of David and Goliath. I hear the story of Daniel's in the lion's den. I hear the story of the wall of Jericho. I hear the story of Moses in the Red Sea. And I hear the story of Noah and the ark. And I'm just going to use it. And in each of these stories, you picture how awesome. I mean, he just bad to the bone. He just show off. God just show off in each and every story, right? Splitting the Red Sea. Daniel get thrown in the lion den. The lion, he shut the lion's mouth like, look, you ain't got to eat Daniel. I'm telling you, you're going to have some food in a minute. Like, right? Okay? What else I said? David and Goliath, a rock killed a whole big giant. One shot, right? All of that happens. But there's one key underlying thing for each person in that story, that something that had to happen in order for God to show up. Number one was obedience. The number one thing, that the way that God was able to show up in a way that no man can ever show up, was the man itself had to be obedient to God. Throw away all their little whatever, what they feel like and blah, whatever. Like, all they had to go to the side, okay? Because when God said, hey, do this and blah, 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 they looking like, that don't sound correct, right? That don't make any sense. According to our natural mindset, none of this makes any sense. However, but you know what, God? You God. All right, fine, I'll do it. And then they do it, and guess what? Boom. Like, wow, look at this. Look at it. Daniel had to stand up for what he knew was right. Hey, if you pray, you're going to go into the lion's den. He wasn't ashamed of God. He wasn't ashamed of praying. He like, all right, it is what it is. Now, you know what I mean? And he still prayed. He ain't even doing it silent. That man was praying with the window wide open. I want everyone to see that I know that my God is real. Went to the lion's den with no problem. That right there was enough for me. Like he even closed the door. Like he was doing it in the window with the window wide open. Like, what's up? And so the confidence that he had in God and who the God that he claimed that he serves, who is everything. So I was hearing this day in, day out. And I was like, well, okay, what's up? That's what made me want to really know more of God, because I need you to show up here and in my house. And in order for me to do that, I understood that there's some things that I have to do in my own self, is be surrendered and be committed and not even think on my own and my own understanding, because my understanding is very finite, obviously, because none of this will make sense, right? Even hearing a story where he was like, hey, you want to get healed, go in this water that's nasty and trifling and dirty, and you're going to get healed. First, what? That don't make any sense to me. However, he was healed. Why? Because God is awesome and he made things out of nothing. He created a whole world out of nothing. And so, but it was through obedience and being, again, 100% committed to God. So that's all he wants from us, was obedience. And I learned that as a child. I'm talking about, I understood that as a child. And then I look at these adults and realize, do you not understand that too? You know, I'm not understanding. So I started asking questions, and people started getting mad at me because, why are you so little and got this revelation and I don't? I don't know. I don't understand it, but I can help you. It's right here in this word. Like I just heard the story right in Sunday school. So it was very hard for me to be me. And when my grandmother died, that was tough for me, because not just the fact that she was no longer here and that's my grandmother, we were close and all those things like that. It's just that no one else is going to understand me. And then I tried to do this. I tried to do it without her. I tried to, for me, it wasn't working. And I thought about killing myself. I wrote it down. It didn't happen because some girl, she didn't even like me, but she saw, I don't know how she even found out for real. I just remember her telling the people, the school that, Elisa thinking about killing herself. And, then they went to my parents and all that. So that didn't work. So since it's not going to work of me killing myself, then I guess the next best thing for me to do is just, Elisa, you're going to have to bury yourself, because you cannot work here. You do not work here. You're too complicated. You just heard me say that my favorite animals, I don't have nothing. No one thing is my favorite. My favorite colors are red and royal blue. Why my favorite color is red and royal blue? Red for the blood and royal blue because I'm royalty. This is what God told me when I was getting this royal blue, and it has to be royal blue. I don't want no sky blue. I don't want no light blue. I don't want no other kind of blues. It's got to be royal blue. But I'm deep with every little thing about me. That was too much for people. That was too much for my peers. That was too much for my family. And nobody wanted to be around me. My own father, I feel like I had to even, not felt like I did, water myself down just so that my father could still want to be around me, because it looked like the more I went to God, the more he like, oh no, that's too much. I can't take that. I'm out of here. And so, it was hard. So the process that I had to go through now was, Elisa, she got to come out. That's what God was saying. She got to come out. You buried her for so long, you don't even know. So you don't even know who you are anymore, because not only did you bury her, but now you created a person that was going to be more liked for people. That was going to be more, acceptable for people. There's a lot of things that I have done just to please people. Okay, I'm gonna go and of course I did things wrong, of course, but there was extra stuff. I did things extra wrong, if that makes any sense. Like, instead of stealing one time, I had to steal all the time just to prove like I'm okay. I am human. I'm not crazy. Like, I'm just like everybody else. Like, I felt like I had to do these things just because, like, Nobody wants to be around you if you don't do this stuff. Like it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. Like, and you know, because you're too much. You're too in tune to God, and you're not supposed to be this tuned to God because you're too young. But again, the devil didn't wait. Like I didn't understand that, but was what it was because I had no one who else was going to help me. Now I had plenty of people to talk to about how to sin, how to do the stuff that I was doing. But I didn't have no one really talk to how to be young and say, hey, I'm really going to be saved and holy, especially since we're going to church and hearing about this all the time, you know, as a young person. Oh, you know, so with that being said, that's my journey as far as not really being my real self. In many areas, and now I'm learning, I hear other people who have said, I haven't been my real self because, you know, you created this person that was able to survive in the environment. And then when you grow up, you're trying to still be that person that you created to survive. But now you're suffering and you're struggling because that person doesn't work as an adult, as you are now the parents and you are now have to mother and raise your children and nurture because now you're confused. You're real, know what the real thing. Because you just survived in your environment. But now you have to create an environment for your children. And so those things inside is now that you have buried and transpired, have not got healed from because all the stuff that people said about you and things like that and all of that now is inside your children. Now everything is all crazy. So this is why he had me start here with is Elisa. Come on. I created you to be this. I created you to be rare. I am rare. It is okay. And I'm letting everyone know now that I am aware that I am rare. I am deep. Okay. I don't expect you to be like me. We can walk where you were. You can't be me because I'm me and you are you. What works for me is not necessarily going to work for you. There's a reason why there's different grade of gas for your vehicle to function correctly. I take diesel. You may only take regular. The point is not, I got to come at you because you take regular and you make me feel bad because I got to take diesel. The point is, let's make sure we get to the gas station when we need to get to the gas station, give her your fuel so we can function correctly. That's what we need to do. And that's what I'm about. I'm not going to come at you for what you take and you know, for the grace and give me the grace for what I take. I'm not asking you to be me because you cannot be me. I think that have been a big thing growing up. A big thing growing up is where I begin to people please because people make me feel like something's wrong with you, you're crazy. And that's what people was calling me crazy. You're crazy, at least. You're crazy. Just you. That's just you. And even till now, I mean, they're still calling me that now. But now we're learning, at least to get your life right, because it's okay. Be crazy. Okay? Because at the end of the day, they be calling that crazy person, can you come pray for me? At the end of the day, they be calling that crazy person. And also at the end of the day, they be lucky that I'm that crazy because I give them grace that no one else gives them. They don't even give them their self. Right? I don't treat them the way everybody else is treating them. So it's okay. If you're rare, we are rare. We are unique. No one is just like us. Let's learn how to be us that he created us and learn how to, push away, throw away, bury the person that we created that we felt that was better to survive in the environment that we grew up in. So thanks for coming to being at the end of this episode, and stay tuned because I am coming with part 2. I'm coming up with part 2 of this. It's okay that I'm aware that I'm rare. Also, it might be multiple parts. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see once we get into the next episode. And because Father's Day is coming up, and I really want to, I really believe that I need to really share how I forgave my father, because Father's Day is here, and Father's Day is, we know, Father's Day is not, it's a lot. Father's Day are complicated based upon our relationship with our fathers, okay? I can look at just in my local community, if you want to say, and it's a small remnant of people that say they have a good relationship with their father. It's not that many people that can say, yeah, I have a great relationship with my father. We are close. We're the best and everything else. I can't say that me and my father is close and we're the best. However, I'm not walking around angry and everything else. So, I would love to share about how we can get there, whether or not your father even actually come to you and say, I'm sorry, how to really forgive and heal without them acknowledging the fact that they need forgiveness or they need you, without them acknowledging that they need forgiving, without them actually coming to you and say, I'm sorry, without them acknowledging that they did something wrong, right? You still can be healed. Okay? You still can be healed. So that is it for this episode. We're finished. Okay? And so I will see you in the next one. Bye.